Press Secretary Trixie Cruz-Angeles has resigned from her post, citing health reasons. The announcement comes a week after speculations on her stepping down. President Bongbong Marcos is now talking about drumming up business following his undisclosed trip to Singapore. Malacanang has said that the trip was an offshoot of the president's state visit last month. The Justice Department has flagged alleged prostitution and incidents of sexually transmitted diseases among POGO workers. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The Health Department has warned of a possible measles outbreak early next year. Let's get the details from JC Cosico, who's joining us live from the DOH Central Office in Manila. JC, good evening. What made the DOH say that there might be or will be a measles outbreak early this year? How are routine pediatric immunizations going so far?
Sean, it's quite low. Over 60% of children in the country are fully immunized, and that's a far cry from their 95% target. Now, DOH OIC Maria Rosario Vergara said that apart from hesitancy, COVID restrictions also resulted to these low numbers. And so far, around 3 million children have yet to receive a dose of measles vaccines. Sean.
Right, so we have heard that they are planning to drum up information campaigns. JC, apart from that, what else does the DOH have planned to mitigate a possible outbreak?
Sean, DOH plans to ramp up a vaccination, especially for children. Now the DOH is also calling the help of LGUs and the Education Department for them to be able to do this, especially that Vergara said, apart from that, is that this should be a whole of government approach, as complications for measles remain to be very dangerous for children aged less than 1. Sean.
Right, now it was all over the headlines, JC, that COVID-19 cases or COVID-19 is already in schools with reported cases. Did the DOH already give the exact numbers on the ground?
Sean, so far no data from the DOH, as they are still harmonizing data from or with the Education Department, but OIC Vergara said that they expected infections in schools after the return of face-to-face classes. But what matters more, according to Vergara, is that these children will not get severe or critical COVID-19 cases. That's why she once again called on parents of these children to have them vaccinated against COVID-19. Sean.
Right, let's move on over to COVID-19 vaccinations and booster vaccinations. JC, the government, of course, has said that they plan to ramp up the Lakas Pinas booster vaccination program. Are we still on track to achieve the booster vaccination targets? What with the DOH downgrading this target to just 30% by October 8th, or President Marcos's 100th day in office?
Sean, according to the DOH, you still need to vaccinate around 3.6 million individuals with the first booster shots for them to be able to achieve their 30% target of eligible population within the first 100 days of the Marcos administration. So far, 3.2 million individuals have received their booster shots under the program. Overall, 19.7 million have been boosted against COVID-19 in the Philippines, which is said to be 25% of the eligible population. Sean.
Of course, it's also been reported, JC, that the Budget Department or the DBM has released over 1 billion pesos for the allowances of healthcare workers. Now, the question is, when will this reach the actual healthcare workers?
Sean OIC Vergara said that they are targeting to release the SRA to over 50,000 health workers by next week. Now, these health workers are those who served from September 2020 until June 2021. Now, the DOH is still waiting for the release of 11.5 billion pesos for the health emergency allowance of over 1 million health workers who served from January to June 2022. For now, they are still asking for additional funding to pay the arrears of medical frontliners. Sean.
All right, thank you so much for all those updates. JC Cosico reporting to us live from the city of Manila. Thank you, JC. And the Justice Department is looking into reports of prostitution and increasing cases of STDs or sexually transmitted diseases among the POGO workers here in the Philippines. Marlene Alcaide with the report.
From kidnapping and illegal detention to alleged cases of prostitution, the POGO industry has since been marred with back-to-back issues. The Department of Justice is now alarmed over the spread of sexually transmitted diseases among POGO workers.
Within the POGO companies and within the employees of the POGO companies, there have been reports of the spread of sexually transmitted disease. Although we're trying to find out the full extent of this, it seems as though mga nasa 15 to 20 dun sa mga reports namin.
The DOJ said it has yet to determine how prevalent STD cases are among POGO workers. It has tasked the National Bureau of Investigation to focus on the issue.
Di na natin antayin ang panahon na umabot na to sa ating mga kababayan. And we hope that we're able to contain this as soon as possible.
372 foreign nationals will be deported this month. Majority are Chinese nationals working for illegal POGO companies. While over 48,000 foreign nationals will have their visas canceled after the government canceled the licenses of the POGO companies they are working for. They will be given 59 days to leave the Philippines or they will be deported.
Yung pag-cancel ng mga visas due to various reasons, kailangan nang umalis ng bansa yung Chinese nationals on their own. Hindi na namin sila arestuhin. And I think another advantage there ay mas mura na ngayon para sa gobyerno.
The DOJ says the immigration is still finalizing the documents for Chinese nationals awaiting deportation. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
And President Bongbong Marcos has finally spoken up about his attendance in the Singapore F1 Grand Prix, calling it a, quote, the best way to drum up business. In an Instagram post, Marcos Jr. reaffirmed an earlier statement from Malacanang that his weekend trip had been productive. The president said it was fulfilling to have met new business friends who are interested in investing in the Philippines. Marcos Jr. was seen alongside Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong and Manpower Minister Tan Sri Leng at the event. Also present in the trip were First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, their son, Congressman Sandro Marcos, and the president's cousin, House Speaker Martin Romualdez. We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Two top officials of the Marcos administration tendered their resignations today. Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles has stepped down from her post as press secretary, citing health reasons. Jose Calida also resigned as chairperson of the COA or Commission on Audit, according to Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. Calida is the third top official to resign ahead of the president's 100th day in office. He and Angeles were recently bypassed by the Commission on Appointments and have not been reappointed. Meanwhile, Bersamin also clarified that Attorney Vic Rodriguez is no longer part of the cabinet. Rodriguez earlier resigned as executive secretary, while the administrative order appointing him as presidential chief of staff had not been released. President Bongbong Marcos has yet to designate appointees for the vacated posts.
Alam niyo si Presidente, napakadaming inaasikaso. And I think there will be time for that selection process. Let us give the President more time.
Bypassed cabinet members took their oaths in Malacanang after being reappointed by the president. Those who took their oath before President Marcos today were Energy Secretary Rafael Lotilla, Finance Secretary Ben Jokno, and NEDA Chief Arsenio Balisacan. Also reappointed were Migrant Workers Secretary Toots Ople, Social Welfare Secretary Erwin Tulfo, and Transportation Chief Jaime Bautista. Newly appointed Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin also took his oath before Marcos Jr. Defending Philippine Football League champion United City Football Club has found a new home in Capas, Tarlac. Beginning this month, UCFC will begin hosting their new home games in the new Clark City Stadium. The multi-purpose stadium has brand new facilities and can accommodate 20,000 people. The venue also features a natural grass pitch, unlike other football venues in the country. The team is hoping to encourage more people to watch the games through this partnership. UCFC's home premiere will be on October 22nd against the Azcal's development team.
South Africa, where I'm from, we hosted the World Cup in 2010, and just from the stadiums that were built, it naturally attracted people to come and watch the games. They want to experience the stadium, they want to experience the atmosphere. So hopefully this can do the same. It can encourage people to come and watch football and, fall in love with the game.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Supreme Court has ordered former NTF-ELCAC spokesperson Lorraine Badoy to explain why she should not be cited in contempt. Badoy has 30 days to address the issue concerning her threatening statements against Manila Trial Court Judge Marlo Magdoza Malagar. The Energy Regulatory Commission has denied the joint petition of Meralco and San Miguel Energy Corporation for a rate hike. The ERC said both companies should have risk mitigating strategies to ensure their compliance with power supply agreements. And Filipino-American fashion designer Bonnie Nola was crowned Miss USA 2022. Nola will be representing the United States in the 71st Miss Universe pageant next year. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.